Hey everyone, my name is Deanna and I have an Instagram called Resilience is Beautiful. I've been doing YouTube for probably 6 or 7 years, and unfortunately, my YouTube channel has been a hit or miss. And I have tried so many times to get momentum. I've done over 120 videos. A lot of them I have set to private because I wasn't proud of them. And then it became to a point where I was doing so much, and then my condition changed and my treatment changed that I almost didn't want that out there. I don't know, it was very, very hard for me to leave them up. So I think it was 2 years ago, I said, I'm going to do a new slate, clean slate, put them all to private because those are my memories and I want to keep them forever. That never allowed my channel to really grow into anything. And then that's okay because, again, those are my memories. But since my condition and my treatment has changed, I have found myself really longing for a sense of purpose and what is it something that I can do at home that doesn't involve me having to get out. But right now, with the state of the world, like that's just not a realistic thing for me. Even as I would try, so I was diagnosed in 2017, even as I would try to make content, I always just felt like I was failing. And I kind of feel like I did that to myself. Like I set this expectation or this want of doing something to making an impact and building a community that we could support each other. And I never was able to do that. And that's really hard to say out loud. It is hard to kind of have that discussion with you all because I didn't want to fail. I have really turned my focus to Instagram and connecting with that community and different people that have reached out that have similar treatments that I do or similar journeys being a rare patient or people that have medical service dogs. And that has been very beneficial in my healing process spiritually and emotionally. As my husband and I were talking about this, I wanted to turn YouTube into something where, yes, I want to share some things about my treatment and my journey and about resilience is beautiful and why that is such a big part of my life and my platform. But I also wanted to talk about fun things. And unfortunately, again, because of where we are in the world and me not being able to get out and in crowds as much as I would like to, what was something that I could do here that made me feel like I had purpose or drive and basically a schedule? Like what can I do that I'm doing every day that I could share with you all that would maybe even benefit in a fun way? Not just in an educational way, but just for fun and to have conversations about things that are fun. So I came up with this idea that, I, unfortunately, because of my treatment, I am down a lot. I am in bed a lot or resting on the couch. And so I'm constantly watching TV series and movies. And I don't hold back on what genres that I watch. I truly, if it looks interesting, I watch it. And there's even things that I watch that I may not agree with just so I know what is being out in the world. And I can have those conversations with people if it ever comes up. And I think you always have to do that no matter if it's books or education in the classroom, in college, in debate classes, whatever it is. You always have to know what the other side is either watching, thinking, or reading. And so I immerse myself in all sides of conversations, not only to keep my mind open and fresh, but to know what is going on in the world. And I do a lot of mentoring, and so when conversations do come up, I'm able to engage and interact appropriately with them. And so I think it's good. I mean, Hollywood and cinema does have its flaws, but I think from an entertainment cinematic standpoint, it has some beautiful things. So, which leads me to what I'm going to be doing, which is I'm going to be going through and talking about TV series and movies that I have fallen in love with, ones that I really don't like, things that I think could be changed in them or where they could have made different approaches. I really feel like when I talk to my family and friends, when we have these conversations, they tell me they find benefit in my feedback. And I was like, well, if that's the case, then I might as well do that with you all and have a review section. And I was going to try to break it down into 5s. And that may be sustainable, I'm not sure. because it may not be 5 things, it may even be one video series just on a particular series, because they are releasing in a timeline that would warrant that kind of release. So a great example right now would be Boba Fett with Star Wars, the Book of Boba Fett. I have so many thoughts on that, but we're going to say that for another video. But because they release the way that they do, it may be a series where I do a short on each episode, and then I make a playlist, and that's something that actually is sustainable for me. It wouldn't take very long. It would just be a quick synopsis of my thoughts and feelings on it, and then move on. Some days I may have hair and makeup done, some days I may not. This is just going to be a real life conversation with you and me. And I feel like of all the things I've ever done or tried to do on YouTube, I feel like in my current situation, with what I have going on personally, this is something I feel like I could actually sustain, because things are always releasing, they are always coming up, they're always in conversation. And it's exciting for me to actually feel like I would have a purpose. And there goes my earpiece. I am having to do this today because I don't have my setup the way that I want it. Hopefully one day we'll get there, but for right now, this is what I have. So again, this is real life channel. This is not smoke and mirrors. This is me just sitting down and talking about those things. So before we get into any type of movie or TV series, the one thing I do want to talk about is the books that I have been able to complete. And I do believe this goes from 2020 into 21. And the reason I want to talk about these is because this is a major, major milestone for me. I have always had to read for work, for college, for my education, and it was very, very difficult for me. The reason it was difficult, which then like completely took out fun reading, like no, not in this world, no way, no how am I going to be reading for fun. One day I got up the courage. I was talking to my husband. I said, this is going to surprise a lot of you because you know how much of a fan I am of this. I finally got up the courage to try to read the Harry Potter series. I have watched the Harry Potter series since the day they released, basically all throughout the year ever since they've released. It's something that we keep on in the house for noise. If Marshall's working or studying or whatever, like he just has them on in the background. It's an easy listen, and they're always on. We don't have to think about what's on TV. And so when they released, I was the age of when Harry Potter first started. And so I grew up with Harry Potter, but I grew up with it differently because I had such a hard time reading. So I am proud to say I have read every single book now in the Harry Potter series, and I am beyond proud of myself. And the reason that I was able to do it is in that time period, I started my infusions and we got Stormy back. What we didn't know growing up, and I should have been probably, after I've talked to some of the teachers that I've had, I should have actually been on a modified testing schedule or had accommodations, because we can track my condition through parts of middle school and high school and into college, but nobody knew what it was, nobody knew what to look for. So when I'm reading, your eyes are your most voluntary used muscle in your body. As I was reading, the words were pulling apart. I got glasses at one point. They never seemed to help. And I just was always frustrated. And then as you're reading, because of the cells that are being built up, I would just fall asleep reading. It was so frustrating. I would maybe get through a page or two and then I was out, because it made me so tired to focus and look at those words that it hurt so bad. I would just give up and go lay down. I was forced to read all the things that was required of me, but I just never went into the realm of reading for fun. So thanks to some encouragement from a community that I'm in called the Leg Life community. If you don't know them, it's Leg Life AK on Instagram and Leg Life on YouTube. It's a community of people, and we do talk about all things in life, but we also share book recommendations. And once I finished the Harry Potter series that I wanted to read, I was like, I can do another one. I can complete another series. I've never completed a series before. That was my first one. And I was so proud of myself. I said, I need another one that's in the same realm, the same theme, the same genre, because that was what was holding my attention. Thanks to Sherry, and if you guys are Leg Life community members, you all know the books I'm getting ready to talk about. This is going to drive me insane. I'm going to have to do something about these earbuds. I've done the Harry Potter series. I completed that. And then the next one I read was the Selection. And the Selection series, I could not put it down. I was reading them in between every infusion. And I mean, I went through it very, very quickly. Stormy's here with me if you hear her get up and down a couple times. So the one that was on my list for last year, I was able to complete, was the Iron Fae series of what has already been released. Now, the very last book is called The Iron Raven, which was released sometime last year. I have to tell you, it has taken me months to finish that book. And I am maybe 10 pages away. I will finish it today. Out of all the ones in the series, it has been my least favorite. And I don't know if it's because I've been very stressed out this month. And then, basically from like October through December, like things are very, very crazy and hectic for us. I don't know if that's what caused it, or the writing in this book was a little bit different, or there's a lot that I can go into on it, but I don't want to discourage someone from reading that one. It's just, it was my least favorite out of the whole series. And so hopefully, like, once that's finished, the new one is called The Iron Sword, releases February 1st of 2022. It'll give me a little bit of a break to go on to the next one. But again, I might even take myself a break from that series because I was so frustrated in that last book that I don't want to lose my love for everything I've accomplished, because it was several books. And this is not like how I will do my reviews for the movies and TV series. This is just hey, I am celebrating a milestone. This is what I was able to accomplish. And if you want to know more about these books, I will do them. But this was just for me saying, hey, I did this. I accomplished it. And it means a lot to me that I accomplished it. So those are the 3 that I've accomplished and completely finished. Again, I will finish Did you hit the table? Stormy just laid down and she hit the table. I apologize about that. Because not only in each one of those series are there multiple books, but they're large books. And for me not to get bogged down or, frustrated until this very last one, this was a huge, I cried after I read the Harry Potter series. Not just because of Snape, but because of the overwhelming feeling that I did it. And it sounds so minor, but to me and in my life and what I have gone through, the fact that I was able to accomplish it brings more joy than I can ever really articulate in this video. The other thing about it is the way in which I had to read it was interesting. And I've done that for all the series that I've been reading. I did not do paper copies, even though I love paper books. I love the smell. Our home is full of paper books because of what Marshall does and his love of reading. He reads, I think, 60 books a year on average. Sometimes more, sometimes less. It just depends on the year. I mean, I love them. But with me being able to read it on my phone, I was able to adjust lighting, text size, background lighting, font, everything that I needed to do to help my eyes give them the best opportunity for success. And so by doing that, I was able to be successful. That's it for today's video. I am going to end it here because, again, this was just an introduction to what we're going to be doing for the new year. And the very first series that I think I want to do, and this is not any particular date of when they were released. These are just ones I have watched recently. I'll do 5 TV series that I love. Or if there's one in there I might not like, I'll tell you why. But the first one is going to be 5 TV series and give you my feedback on each one of those. I think it's going to be really neat. I think it's going to be something special. Again, something that's sustainable and something that I love. And this is also why, talking about reading, this is always why I would lean more towards TV and film, because of the way in which, not only the way that I learn, music, the characters, seeing them in person, being able to track their stories is easier for me than reading it, like the comprehension side of it. But I completely get immersed in watching those things versus in a book, I just started getting into my own ability to do that in the pages. It's a very unique dynamic and transition for me. Now, my love of TV and movie and film and plays will never go away. And so that's the reason I'm going this way, and I'm not going to be doing like book reviews because there's so many people. I'd much rather you go watch Sherry and talk to her about it, or Carrie Miller. She has an Instagram about it. Both is Sherry's Bookshelf and Carrie's Bookshelf. They're on Instagram. Those are the experts. Those are the ones that read like so many books per year that they keep up with everything. Mine is just, hey, I did it. This is a celebration video and like what's coming up. But we're going to be moving into film and cinematic adventures beyond this point. This is also the last time you'll probably see my Christmas tree. I have always done a video with my tree every year. And so I wanted to kick off this year with a video with my tree. And we are working on a backdrop and hopefully getting some better equipment to move forward. But I hope you're excited. I hope that if you know somebody that you would share this channel with them, leave a comment, interact, engage, send messages, go to my Instagram, say hi, and we're just going to have a good year. And there's no expectation of when and how I post. My goal is to do it once a month. It may be more, maybe less. It just depends on treatment. That would be the washing machine. That, you know, we can build a community to have some really fun conversations about all the things that bring our imagination to life. So have a good one, and I will talk to you in my next video.